I'm crazy.
Welcome to the Bleed Big Blue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am turning on everyone's microphone. It is, what day is it?
Turn my mic on.
Your mic is on. Your mic is on. What an unbelievable opening to the podcast. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat just to make sure that everything is turned on.
We don't hear music today?
You didn't hear the music?
No, I didn't hear the intro. Did it play?
Yeah, it played.
Oh, you guys, we're definitely not winning any awards for this shit.
Ready?
We're actually here on time.
Welcome to the Bleed Big Blue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW.
Did you hear that one?
Yeah, we got that one. Boom. Bleed Big Blue podcast. Live humming coming at you.
It's coming. Just got real.
Oh, man.
Like the real.
Where do we want to start, Jeds?
I don't know.
Take a trade
honestly.
with the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's there, man.
I guess that's where we're starting. There's our starting point. Buffalo trade.
Well,
Go.
Supposedly, I leaked the article to the.
Oh, Tim, read the thing that you just sent us out, so people know what the hell we're talking about. Let's start off quoting that tweet that you saw.
Okay, so
everybody knows what's going on.
It's actually an article, and
okay,
it might be from a rival, so I'm not going to tell you from who.
Okay,
but it's
from us now, bitches.
Has speculated the Giants and Bills likely have a blueprint in place for a trade that will allow the Bills to move up to the second spot in the draft. They also believe that the trade won't happen until the very last moment in the process. If it happens at all, as the Giants still want to field further offers. You know,
go, Justin.
It's pretty much everything we all thought. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, but there's some in there that's concerning. Like it is the only reason is because they don't feel there's any players there that they would take it to, which means that they're not sold on a quarterback. And right now, Buffalo is the only team with an offer on the board because nobody's on the clock and nobody knows who's going one.
No,
so
I think it's actually. I think it's different. I think it's the opposite. I really think it's Giants are sitting there and going, okay, we got to hear Josh Allen's name go to Cleveland, then we'll take Darnold. But if Darnold gets taken,
but that's not what that's not what that says. Like it's not like they want to hear other offers. It's not like they want to see who's drafted plus other offers.
There's a blueprint in place though.
Let me ask you a question.
But I don't believe anything I see or read anything now anywhere.
Why did we go 3-13? Why did
we
suck through that? If we're not going to take our premium position and take advantage of it, this is an 8-player draft in the top of the first round.
We've said it here before, folks.
You're telling me that we went 3-13.
Yep.
And we're not going to walk away with one of the top 8 players in the draft?
Now you're right. Now that's a whole different conversation.
Buffalo better be giving us
that's a possibility.
Buffalo better be giving us their entire draft. That's
it's not even their entire draft. Like I want future picks.
And that's probably going to be
if I'm trading out of the top 10, you're giving me future picks.
It's going to be a future first. Let's be honest.
There's
going to be a future first. There has to be. It's the only way they're moving up.
And I got news for you guys. A couple. I don't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but I think it was definitely the last time that we got together. Do you remember the question that I posed out to you guys? I said that if you're in the position and you're Dave Gettleman, because of the fact that it's an 8-player draft, well, it's not an 8-player draft. There's more players in the draft than that, right? So, but it markedly drops off, right? There's tiers to every draft, and you would say that the top 8 players in the draft, 4 of them are going to be the quarterbacks. Rank them any way you want them, and then the other 4 rank them any way you want them. Chubb, Nelson, Barkley, Fitzpatrick, right? So I think we said that you should, if you're going to trade back, you want to stay in that top 8 because or the top 7 because it guarantees you one of those guys plus picks. I'm of the mindset of taking the lesser package so I can land one of those 4 players because those are the 4 best players that don't play quarterback in this draft. And they help you at a position that you need, each one of them. You can make an argument. You can sit here and argue all day which one the Giants need more, Barkley, Nelson, Chubb, Fitzpatrick. And, yes, you have to put Fitzpatrick in the conversation with those guys. If you're not, you're kidding yourself.
And today that's even more so the case because it comes out that Landon Collins, for reasons unbeknown to anybody, has not had surgery on the forearm yet. What the hell are we doing?
Maybe they thought maybe they thought it was healing properly, and now he had a little bit of a setback. There's time to get the surgery done, and he can be back for camp. That's fine, but I mean, to me, that's the least of our problems right now.
I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, yeah. Well, let's get there first, because right now, if he gets the surgery this week or next week, he'd missed the spring, and mentally, you just want him there doing mental reps. I'm sure he can do conditioning and shit like that. But, I mean, if he's there for camp, I mean, what's the problem, right? I mean, it's Landon Collins. He's going to be he's a veteran player now. I mean, as long as he's there for camp. And even if he missed a little bit of camp and he was there for the last 3 preseason games, I mean, really, what do we? If he's healthy, that's all that matters at that point. Healthy going into the season. Boom. What do you want to say? Go.
So we got the phone lines are lit up. I'm busy in the background screening everyone. So you wanna wrap this up, or you want to go right to the callers and see what they got?
Oh yeah, we go right to the callers. This is a caller show. We want to hear what they have to say. Hopefully they're going to
we're going to throw Isaiah on. Ready? What's up, Isaiah? You're on.
Hello.
Isaiah.
What's up, guys?
Isaiah, what's up, boss?
James, Marcos, Justin.
What's up, man?
So I wanted to ask you guys because, like Tim said, the Giants and the Bills have like a blueprint now at the moment.
Yep.
And they're not. If they do a trade, they're not trading until draft day. So I was wondering, like, if they do trade with the Bills, would you guys feel like it's too far back, like number 12? Because a lot of players, like draft stock, are going to drop. For example, Mika Fitzpatrick, because he didn't have a good combine. So would you guys be upset, like, if we take, like, the last quarter, like, for example, let's say 4 quarterbacks get picked in the top 10, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, and then would you be upset if the Giants would take Lamar Jackson with the 12th pick or the 22nd pick or the 21st pick?
I would let's put a couple of things there, right? No, I would not be upset if the Giants landed Lamar Jackson. I think especially if you're going to tell me that Eli Manning is your quarterback for the next year or two, I think that's ideal for Lamar Jackson. I think if you got him in a system, especially with a guy like Pat Shurmur, and he developed and he put on some weight and some muscle and grew mentally, and I mean he's already played in a pro style offense. Yes, you don't have to sell me on Lamar Jackson. These guys know I love them. Now, as for the draft, right, we were just talking about tiers. I read earlier this week that when you get to pick like 20, it's a drop off. Like those, like a lot of people are saying, like those are second round picks now, where there's going to be a considerably steep drop off from 20 down, talent wise. So if I'm the Giants, just like Justin said earlier, we were 3-13. I need to come away with one of these players, and if I have to take if I have to take a lesser package, maybe I don't get a future first, but I'm walking away with one of those 4 players that we've referenced. And I don't think, and I also don't think that I think if Fitzpatrick is there at 12, there needs to be an investigation. I think that there needs to be
what you're saying
at least
is that you want to
6
take the
general
best player
managers
available.
fired. Yeah, like if Denver, ideally I'd like to stay. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Buffalo or somebody can find their way into the top 6. And I'm hoping that it's either that team or Denver that is going to make the trade to move up and get the guy that they want. See, to me, Denver's the wild card. I think Denver really wants one of these kids, and they're trying to play it really close to the vest. And I think that I think that's why the Giants right now are going to say, listen, we're going to wait till we're on the clock, because who knows what happens the day or two before the draft. The team gets antsy. You never know what happens. And all of a sudden you're sitting there with a different package. So I think that ideally the Giants right now are trying to walk away with one of those 4 guys, pick a guy, any guy, plus additional picks. I think if you do that, you win this draft. If you're right about the quarterback, because the flip side of this whole thing, Isaiah, is if you're trading back, and this is an aspect that we haven't talked about on the show, but if you trade back and you chicken shit out of the quarterback pick, all right, you got 2 chances of this getting thrown in your face for the next 10 to 15 years. You got the team that made the trade with you and the Jets. So, but beware. Beware.
Let me be clear, and what I want to say about it is this. You know that anybody that listens to the show knows that I'm a huge fan of Dave Gettleman. I feel like he's played this offseason nearly as perfectly as you could, considering the hand that he was dealt. However,
except Jonathan Stewart. But go ahead. Okay.
Again, not the starter.
Go ahead. I'm only busting your balls. Go.
Anyway, if the Giants walk away from their current draft position with a plethora of picks, but do not get one of the 4 quarterbacks, or Chubb, Nelson, Fitzpatrick, or Barkley,
Storm the castle.
Then this first round of Dave Gettleman's first draft was an abject failure.
Yep. I agree with you, Justin.
There's no other way.
Let Mr. Positive come in. Hey, negative guys, relax.
It's the truth, Tim. It's the truth. If you're gonna tell me,
I'll give you a scenario, and I'm with you guys. I understand you want the blue chip talents. Again, the same argument with Saquon Barkley. I don't care. He's not that high a level up from the other running backs. I hate to break it to you guys. And Quentin Nelson.
Well, I'm not saying that he is.
As much as I love Quentin Nelson, he's still a guard. The only one that I would say that'd be worth even taking at 2 would be Bradley Chubb, because I really don't see the second person being even close to how good Bradley Chubb is. But if we do go down to 12, that means we got a future first, and it's from a Buffalo team that's going to take a rookie quarterback. So let's be realistic. We're probably going to get another top 10 pick out of it. So if we go down to 12, there's a good shot. There's a shot we can get Fitzpatrick if he falls to us. Now, there's
no way Fitzpatrick is falling to 12.
If he doesn't,
out of your head.
There's guys like, for example, Derwin James. I think Derwin James is too close to Landon Collins the way he plays. You can get a Roquan Smith at 12 easily.
No. He's not getting to 12.
Roquan Smith's not getting to 12.
All right. Let's get to
Fitzpatrick isn't getting to 12.
Let's go to JJ. JJ's been on hold for a bit. Ready to see JJ? Yeah, JJ.
Guys, what's up, guys?
JJ, you're on. What's up?
What's up, guys? I agree with all your points. I think we gotta get one of those top tier players. with his first draft. I mean, we gotta get one of those guys. And if he does back away out of the quarterback deal, all I'm saying is you're betting on Eli being healthy and Davis Webb being serviceable. With that being said, I don't wish Eli ill will. I love the Giants. He's my quarterback. All I'm saying is he's getting old and the line isn't situated yet. So you have to consider that with a line that may or may not be successful immediately, and this guy who's not even mobile, but he's championship caliber, but his arm is getting a little older. So, I think he knows Stewart can pass block, and so I think the running backs are going to take that flavor. The ones that are going to bite the bullet are going to be the ones that can't pass block at the end of the day, and I think there are going to be a lot of tougher players brought in. But I do like this situation. I like the direction and the opinions you guys have. I just support them. I feel wholeheartedly the same way you do, man.
Hey, man. We appreciate that, JJ. Thanks for listening, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I think you got to walk away with one of these guys, man. We were, like Justin said, we were 3-13. I think you got a chance to walk away with a player that significantly helps you at 4 different areas of need. And to me, you have to jump at an opportunity to grab one of those guys now. Look, I understand the future first is attractive, but I mean,
let's be honest.
Look,
with all four,
we don't want to just pass on guys.
All 4 of us are going to agree with this. If Sam Darnold's the pick, we're all going to be happy. I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
If they pick any of the quarterbacks at 2, while I may not agree on the quarterback, I will not disagree on the pick at all. Big difference disagreeing on the player, disagreeing with the pick. Because seriously, honestly, Josh Allen may be the best fucking quarterback prospect ever to come out. I may be 110% wrong. So if they've done their research on the guy and they're sold and they draft the guy at 2 and they're going to say that's our quarterback of the future, this is the guy that we've drafted, we've done our homework, then you know what? I ride with that guy. And I hope that guy gets better and I support him and let's go and he's my quarterback now when Eli fucking hangs up his helmet. But if it's not a quarterback, then you got to trade the pick. And I think the reason why a Buffalo deal has not gone down right now is because it's too far back.
Yeah, they want to see if they can get a Denver deal or
100%.
Whoever. They want to see
100%. Maybe Miami. Does Miami move up to 6?
Yep. The nice thing is,
I don't know.
Gettleman and the Buffalo's GM have a relationship already, so that it's like one of us talking to each other, and be like, "Hey, I know you're at 12.
What would it take?
I might be willing to trade with you, but yeah, let's lay it out. If I don't get something better, I'll call you. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
I think so too. I think so too. I'm pretty sure there's been parameters of a deal discussed, and that's doing due diligence. But I think that to think that the Giants are realistically entertaining this right now is far-fetched. Like, this is something where they've probably discussed this weeks prior. It's just coming out now, and nothing is going to be determined until we find out who's going number 1.
Well, the nice thing about it is, honestly, I think Giants have their eye on one of the quarterbacks. I'm going to assume it's Sam Darnold, but it could be who knows which one it is. I think they're locked in on one. If that one's not there, then whatever. And I'm fine with that. Don't just don't take the leftovers. You have conviction on which one you want.
But don't also waste the value of the pick, right? So like if the guy's not there, then somebody wants that pick. Somebody's going to want one of those other 3 guys that we've been talking about for weeks and months and
as much as you guys will hate this though, and I don't agree with it. There's a possibility that we take Chubb at 2, and that's the only one that I think would actually be worth getting taken at 2?
I would throw something through my television. And that's not because I don't like Chubb. It's not because I don't like Chubb. I love Chubb. I think he's a great player. But I think you can make an argument for Chubb being as good as any one of the 4 guys that we discussed at their position. And if you got a chance to move back and grab one of those guys, well then, and here's a scenario. And we won't know about this. They'll be lying. Well, they'll be lying about this. And maybe Justin,
wait, how do you feel about Chubb?
Because I love it, Chubby.
I'll just slip it in.
Yeah.
I love it, Chubb. That's why you get
I'll
the
just
Chubb.
slip it in.
I think we should go back Chubbs.
And then you slip it in. You go Chubb and Chubb.
Chubb square.
Yeah.
Well, now that's too many Chubbs. Too many Chubbs.
Oh my God!
Too many Chubbs in one draft room for me.
That's what she said.
Yeah. She's a classy girl, so she only wants one Chubb.
That's what she says.
Exactly.
I'll just slip it in.
Mike. Well, Mike, that's what when you get a Chubb, you want to use it the best of your ability, so you gotta slip it in. But it is, Mike. You don't want to waste the Chubb.
That's not true.
But Mike, you're gonna waste the Chubb. You don't want to waste the Chubb, Mike. You get a Chubb. Mike,
why are you yelling?
You're very hard to talk to. You cut me off. You're screaming.
That's
Mike.
not
You're
true.
Talking about slipping it in. Oh, you're the guy, man. Now I know why Mad Dog left.
I'll just slip it in.
Oh.
Hey, let me ask you guys this question.
Go ahead.
I understand.
Oh, it's classic radio. Clip that.
I understand Jimmy's point of view that you have to maximize the value on the pick, and somebody's going to want that second overall pick.
Absolutely.
To take a quarterback. I get it. However,
What if the offer blows?
If the deal is not there that you want to get out of 2.
There you go. That's where I was going.
And you just traded JPP. The player that you signed is on a 4-game PED suspension. And, you have a need there. Chubb is the bona fide stud. People are saying he's better than Myles Garrett, who was the number 1 overall pick last year. If the deal's not there and you don't get exactly what you want, don't just trade out to trade out. What I'm saying is that for me to even think about going to 12, it's going to take 12, 21, 22, a second-round pick this year, and a first and second round next year for me to even entertain it. Unless they're willing to...
100%, man. I mean, that's weird. It's got to be that going rate.
Why don't we hit up John from a fellow man from the Lank? Ready? What's up, John? What are you thinking about?
What's going on, John?
I'm just thinking about Lamar Jackson, okay? Lamar Jackson's completion percentage every single year in college was under 60%. So if you're going to be down on Josh Allen for having a low completion rating, you have to be the
huge
same
difference.
way about...
No, bullshit. Don't bullshit. Go look at Lamar. Go look at Lamar Jackson. Hold on a second, okay? Go look at the teams that Josh Allen played against, and go look at the teams that Lamar Jackson played against.
Okay, but
go look at the players that Lamar Jackson played with against some of the top talent in the country. Then go look at he scored 119 touchdowns and 39. What he threw? 38 picks.
Josh Allen doesn't throw screens. All his play calls for the coaching style were all.
Josh Allen played in Wyoming against nobody. Lamar Jackson played under Pitino in a pro style. He played in a pro style offense. He made pro style reads. What are you talking about?
Good for the
screen passes.
Good for the gander.
I like you, John. You touched the nerve.
Hey, by the way,
no, it's not what's good for the goose is good for the gander. There's difference. If I played against Little Sisters Mary of the Poor 20 times and put up 18,000 fucking yards against Lamar Jackson playing against Clemson, there's a huge difference.
I don't want either of those quarterbacks. But anyway,
go look at what Josh Allen did against top 10 against the 5 games he played against top tier talent.
I don't think Josh Allen's going to be a bust. I think he's a worse of Joe Flacco. I don't think he's good.
Bust.
But
and Lamar Jackson gives you an aspect to the game that none of these other guys do.
And I think Lamar Jackson is going to get his knees destroyed because he's going to be running around. I just don't see it.
Any one of these guys can get destroyed from running around. One of these guys can get destroyed just from standing there.
Give me a pocket guy that gets the ball out in under 2 seconds. That's what I want. And
I agree with. Listen, I totally agree with you. But you know what? The NFL has evolved to where you need a guy who can play from the pocket, and if he can get out of the pocket, not to run occasionally. You want to be a weapon. You want to have that threat, but you need to be able to get out of the pocket enough to be able to elude the rush to make plays. Down the field, keeping your head up and throwing the ball. Lamar Jackson, my friend, does that. He does it, and he does it well.
Also, people keep talking about Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones in the pass blocking is not good. He's really bad. If out of USC, I just think that he's a little overrated. I think he's going to drop in the draft just because of that, because people need a running back to pass block. I don't think Darius Geis is getting past the mid-first round, and I really want Billy Price, offensive guard center out of Ohio State. I think he's a future All-Pro easily.
I like that pick.
Yeah, that would be a great pick. That would be a great pick later on if you can get him. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, Billy Price is awesome.
Well,
he's versatile. He played center. He played guard.
Yeah,
he's a great player.
Yeah, you get a kid like that. I'd like a pick like that, especially he's hurt, right? So he's gonna drop a little bit. You can get him in the second round later, especially. If you do the trade with Buffalo, whether we like it or not, and you're going to have these extra picks, some of these guys are going to be entertaining. He are going to be there, and they probably would be entertained. You would think a guy like he pronounced it wrong. He said guys. A guy like Jewess. A guy not how we pronounce it here. We go cable guy. Do you want some Jewess? Definitely would like some Jewess. Love that kid. He would be a guy in the middle. I would love to bring in a guy like Jewess. Would love it. I love that kid. He's a legend.
All right, let's go to Steve. Steve is Annette's husband. Let's see what they got going on.
Oh, Steve, we got a couple calling in.
No, Stevie and Annette. You're flying Steve.
Well, what's going on, Steve?
Where are you?
Hey,
where's Annette?
She's at work.
Annette's at work. Okay, all right. So what are you doing? Because I know when my wife's at work, usually. Do you have kids?
Yeah.
You got how many kids?
Yeah, we got 5.
Come on, so you ain't doing nothing. Your baby. How are you even on the phone? What are they? How old are they?
They're all ready for school in the morning.
All right, awesome. 5 kids, mod on.
Yeah. Well, listen,
Marco.
How long since I've called in?
Huh?
What?
With the bill straight,
Ned,
we gotta do.
Ned doesn't even get introduced. Ned just starts talking.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up, Steve?
To me. With the bill straight, you guys are gonna tell me that Nelson, Barkley, Chubb, any of those 3 are going to be better than what we can get at 12, 22, 53, and say 65.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for coming on my train. Yes,
I am going to tell you that.
I believe in Gettleman. I believe in Gettleman that he can grab players.
It's all right, and we understand about grabbing players. I totally get it, but there's plenty of people talking about that there's a talent drop-off when you get to the top 20 players in this draft, that there's a significant talent drop-off when you get to that second and third round. So are those picks as valuable as you think they are? What is the talent pool that you're grabbing from? It's already a crapshoot as it is. If you're telling me I got a chance to get a prospect that helps me, no matter which one of those 4 guys I take, I get considerably better at 4 different areas on the field that I need to get considerably better at ASAP.
But you can get that. You get Hernandez. You can get, say at 21, you get Hernandez. Is there that much of a
what if somebody takes him at 20?
Okay, well then we get win.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? You're trading back into the 20s and the 30s and the 50s. It's a fucking crapshoot.
It's a gamble.
You got a chance to grab one of the top 4 non-position players in the draft, or your quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. You don't mess around with that.
Well, no. As far as the quarterback, we all know you grab the quarterback.
This is way too valuable. This team is 3-13. You need good players.
Yeah,
Here's
but
the deal,
I'm telling you, at 12, you can get better guys, 22, 53, 65. You're getting 4 guys that you're going to have starting that are for the next 10 years.
You don't know that. You don't know that. Yeah. You do not know that.
They should be. They should be, though.
You do not know
if
that.
They're in the first and second rounds, they should be starting, or at least contributing.
You do not know
well.
that. Do not start saying that we're going to get all these picks and then those guys are going to be all the starters. It does not work that way. Okay? All you're doing is having more shots at the dartboard. And the more players, the deeper you get in the draft, it becomes more and more unlikely that one of those players are going to succeed and end up to be a player that can contribute for the next, at least the first 4 to 5 years that he's with the team.
Well, first of all, you said in the beginning, to quote you, you said there's a drop-off after 20. So with, let's say 5 quarterbacks go, that means...
No, the quarterbacks are included, Tim. The quarterbacks are included.
Well, I don't agree with that. From the players I'm seeing, I'm not saying, as far as if we want Chubb, I don't really think there's a defensive end that's on the same level. Now, running back-wise, we can get a running back in the later rounds. The guard-wise, as much as I like Quentin Nelson, this is the guard-heavy center draft, a lot of good ones. A lot of
but if I'm sitting, but you got to remember, you got to remember, guys. Hold on, because here's the scenario. Okay, let's say somebody trades up. Let's say Miami jumps 5 spots to 6. Okay,
sure.
Hypothetically, and now Miami's on the phone with you saying we want to trade, we want 2, and they give you a good deal, and you move back, and now you're sitting at 6, and the 4 quarterbacks go. And then Chubb goes, so you got 3 quarterbacks, Chubb goes, and then let's say Denver takes the other quarterback. You're telling me that if you walked away with Barkley and extra picks, you'd be upset coming out of this draft?
No, absolutely
My
not.
thing was never Barkley. I never disliked Barkley as a prospect. I never disliked Nelson as a prospect. I never disliked Chubb as a prospect. Me saying that they should not be picked second is not a referendum on their talent. What it's saying is that the number 2 pick in the draft, with this many quarterbacks coming out, teams are going to be selling their souls to the devil when you are on the clock to get that pick.
Point,
and
though.
If one of those teams end up being in the top 7, you make out like a fucking bandit. You stole the draft.
Hey, no cursing.
Let's put it this way.
This is a family show.
Sorry. Striker.
Hey.
Sorry.
Hey.
Now, as far as I know we keep arguing about the Buffalo. If we drop down to 12, do you realize the haul we would have to get for them to even be talking?
Right.
You saw
I totally get it. I totally get it.
You would get future firsts.
I've
set up a foundation.
Tim, but I've done a lot of research. I've watched a lot of film. I've done a lot of research.
That's not true.
If you don't walk away, if you're not sold on your quarterback, if you don't walk away with one of these 4 players from where the Giants are sitting right now, you have failed on a tremendous level. Because those 4 guys are head and shoulders above any other position player on the draft.
And I'll give you
head and shoulders.
This is where me and Steve are on the level. I'd rather have 2 to 3 good players than 1 great player.
Give me a great player.
You gotta have the great player.
Give me a great, because a great player will make other guys better around him.
Would you rather
Give me the great player.
I'd rather have 3 good players than 1 great player.
Give me the guy that team. You got 4 chances to get a guy that teams will game plan for.
You'd rather have
4 chances to get a guy that teams will game plan for.
You'd rather have 3 sirloin steaks instead of a filet mignon.
Yeah, give me the filet mignon, fucker.
And you have a friggin' quality meal.
All right, we got Ned on the line.
If you trade back to 12.
Hold on. We got Ned on the line. Ned, what do you think, Ned?
I have a hot take.
What's up, Ned?
I believe
that
the most recent interview with Josh Rosen indicates that he is not worthy of our pick. Like, he is a storm sort of pick.
No, you don't got to sell me on Rosen. I'll take him at 2.
We cut me.
No,
for that?
I'm saying he should not be chosen. Have you seen his most recent interview on ESPN?
I love it. I love the talk.
I love it. And I'm sorry.
You love the walking contradictions, the back and forths. This guy has no idea what he's doing. He spits out one answer out of his mouth and contradicts it in the other. He's going to be a nightmare when it comes to.
I mean, that's what it is.
He's going to be a nightmare.
I'll take the football player. I'll take the football player. Give me the guy that can sling it. I'll take him. What off the field issues? That he has an opinion? That he's not an idiot? Like, I mean,
no.
The guy has an opinion. The guy he's well spoken. He knows what he's talking about. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that interview.
Have you guys ever got yelled at work for being too smart?
No, I don't think that. I don't think. No, I didn't see that there was anything wrong with the interview at all.
Like I said last week.
You don't?
I got a raise at work this year because I friggin' showed out because I'm smart.
Yeah. That's right.
You can't have too many smart players.
He literally contradicts himself in the next, like, from
what did he say? What did he say that you didn't like specifically? What did he say that you had a problem with?
I think there were.
Because I'm thinking about it, and I didn't think there was really anything that I had too big of a problem with.
One, I didn't like how he. Said that he was. Purely the amount of contradictions back and forth. I can look through the article now and find you at least a couple. One off the top of my head was.
Put him on hold and we'll come back. Put him on hold and we'll come back. Ned, don't go anywhere. Put him on hold, Marco.
Ned, I'm going to tell you right now, the question that I'm going to ask you when you come to me with all those points is, can he still throw the ball 70 yards, and do we still play in the winds at the Meadowlands?
Yeah, can he still sling it?
True, he can say whatever the hell he wants. And if they think that he's worthy of that pick at the quarterback position, coach him up. Let's go.
All right, let's go to Brian from Virginia.
Ooh, VA. What part of VA?
Oh, I'm in Northern Virginia. I'm like in Fairfax County.
Fairfax County. Is that by I used to live in Virginia Beach. I used to work in Norfolk and live in Virginia Beach. Not even close.
Yeah.
Are you by? My brother actually lives out in Danville. Are you by Danville?
It's still. I'm pretty much closer to DC.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right, what do you want to talk about, buddy? What's up?
Yeah, I've been listening to y'all from like the get go, and I'm like, look, I know you like those 4 players, but I think I don't.
Thank you.
You know what? Here's what I have a problem with. Everybody, stop with. Here's with the rumors with the maximize Eli's 2 years. I think Jerry Reese was so bad at drafting that through his years he only got 2 solid players, Beckham and Collins. That's it. That is it. We are 16 teams in the NFC East. I think Giants is like 10 and 11. It won't.
You're right.
It's going to take.
We need to build our depth, and one player's not going to do that.
Yeah, but I'd rather take the quarterback because I know, and especially Rosen. Rosen wants to sit. He wants to learn behind Eli. It's going to take time. I'm sorry. One of these 4 players ain't going to do it for me. I've been telling people that.
Marco, do a poll.
Not at 2. Not at 2.
I'm curious what quarterback.
Now, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. But before we get to the quarterback, I need clarification here. Hold on. So are you saying that you don't want one of those 4? Cause here's the thing.
They
right?
won't make
I'm with you on the. No, hold on, wait a minute. Stop with that. Let's not be ridiculous. Okay, let's not.
What,
we had a good point.
6 and 10?
Let's not be ridiculous.
6 and 10.
Okay.
6 and 10.
They will not, dude. Are you had to start somewhere. Like you take the great. Did they win a Super Bowl the first year they drafted LT? Now, I'm not saying any of these kids are going to be LT, but you got to start somewhere. Like you got to take the friggin' guy. Hold on, wait a minute, because let's get to the argument that makes sense. Let's get to the argument that makes sense.
Wait.
Are you telling me? You said quarterback. You would take it too. Are you telling me that you don't like any of those 4 players if you trade back? Like you're not even for trading back, getting more picks, and ending up with one of those 4 guys.
You're not going to get any of the 4 if you trade to 12. So let's just get that out the way.
100%, right? But if you what if I told you you're trading back with Denver?
At 5.
With Denver, if we're trading back at Denver at 5, to be honest with you, I'll take Nelson. That's the only person I have in mind at 5. At Chubb, he's too big. I don't like him at the stand-up linebacker. He's not going to play the 5 technique.
He's not going to be a stand-up linebacker. He'll be a defensive end in the 4th.
Yes, he's too small. He's too small to play the 5 technique. 5 technique.
I don't know what that's my only issue with Chubb is he's a 4-3 D end. He really is. He's built like Mario Williams.
5 techniques.
Guys, stop thinking about 3 4s and 4 3s. It doesn't happen like that anymore. Okay, it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen like that.
These teams are lining up. Here's what I mean by it doesn't happen like that anymore. Teams are lining up in 3 wide receiver sets fucking 70% of the time.
So
you're not in your base defense. You're not in your base defense on first down anymore. Doesn't happen. You're playing who the offense and the packages that the offense has there, and you're trying to create mismatches. And the defense is going to switch up. There's going to be 3-4 fronts, 4-3 fronts, 4-6 fronts. You're going to see a 3-5. You're going to see a whole bunch of different fronts based off of the talent that you bring in. Here's the thing, Giant fans. We need talent. We are of lack of talent. So you're getting lesser talent.
James, I think you and I are on the same page. I know that we're on the same page. You have to be very careful because we are devoid of talent, but you can't fix it in one draft.
With one player.
Exactly. No, you definitely can. But you have to start by getting some goddamn good players, don't you?
No,
so why not get one of the top 4 players that are on the draft? They're in the draft.
I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm with
you.
Right,
it's not even like, and guys, it's not even like you're reaching. It's like you can make an argument that this team needs Nelson more than any of the other 3 guys. You can make an argument that they need Chubb more than any of the other 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Barkley, Fitzpatrick. You can make the argument for any of them, but you need one of them. Give me one of them. Can I get one of them? We were just 3 and 13.
What I'm saying is that all the callers that are saying, I'd rather have 21, 22, 12, 43, and 56, or whatever the hell it is. You can't. All those are unknown quantities because you don't know what's going to happen.
Every draft picks. I'll call it this.
That's why you have to control what you have to control. But Tim, that's why you have to control as much as you can possibly control. Like everybody sits here and goes, trade back to 21 and take Geis. Trade back to 21 and take Jewess. What if he's not there? What if somebody thinks there's a huge drop-off and somebody moves up or somebody grabs him before that? Like, you don't know. Like, you control what you can control.
Yeah, I understand that. And the more picks you have, you can miss on one and still be fine.
I don't want to miss. I want to take the best player that I possibly can.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not a good GM if you don't think your first round picks and your second round picks should not be starting or at least contributing in the first year.
Tim, that's some bullshit.
Tim, but Tim,
Because
come on, Tim. You got four guys that could end up wearing gold jackets. You want guys that are going to end up being good fucking role players and solid pros.
You know how many guys I've heard that were can't miss prospects? And
come on, dude. Any one of these four kids. Let me tell you, the only thing that would derail one of these four kids, and I'm knocking on wood, is injuries. Those four kids are just plug them into place.
I'm not even arguing with these. I'm not even arguing with these guys. I'm really not. I love Quentin Nelson. I like Chubb. I think Barkley's overrated, but that's my opinion.
Hey Tim, can I ask you a series of questions?
Yes, sir.
I have 3 questions, and I want your answers. Who was the GM before Dave Gettleman?
Jerry Reese.
How many top 10 picks did Jerry Reese take in his tenure?
Let me guess. Like 15, roughly.
Top 10 picks?
Oh, top 10 picks? Shit, I don't even know.
2?
Yeah, maybe 3.
2, 3?
Do we have an answer?
I'm not a stats guy. Where's the stats guy?
So, how many? It wasn't many. He wasn't picking in the top 10 a ton. It was a handful of times. The rest of the time he was picking outside of the top 10. And how many picks that Jerry Reese made are still on the team?
Yeah, I totally understand
I'm
that.
I'm waiting.
Well,
if you take it, if you have a top 10 pick, that's a premium player. We have nothing.
No, do not. And see, no, you're comparing Jerry Reese to Gettleman, and I'm going to take offense to it because Jerry Reese is not a good drafter.
I understand that Gettleman's a good evaluator of talent, but you can't tell me that the picks and the talent crop that you're going to choose from at pick 56 is anywhere near where it's going to be in the top 10, in the top 8 of the draft.
Correct.
There's a significant drop off in talent.
I'll give you an example
as
right now.
The later you get in the draft and the dart and it becomes you're taking a step away from the dartboard and the throws get more difficult every time that you trade back and you're moving back. Bottom line.
Look, I'll give you an example right now. Last year, who's a can't-miss running back? Leonard Fournette. He went number 4. But, hey, guess what? Two third-round running backs played better than him.
Yeah, but you know what? He still was phenomenal. It wasn't that's not a knock on Fournette. He was still worthy of the pick.
It shows you can get talent.
You're at the running back position in that draft, yes. Now, I think the running back position is deep, but I don't think a lot of these other positions are deep in this draft. So you're telling me we're trading back just to get a better shot at a running back?
I would, as far as a running back. Other than taking Barkley, yes. I would say so.
Hey, Tim.
I'm
going to ask you another question.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Would you rather have Evan Ingram or Leonard Fournette going forward?
Going forward?
Yeah, that's.
Well, I was always a Fournette guy, so I would have taken Fournette.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love Fournette. Fournette would say Giants all over.
But if I had the opportunity to have Fournette, you bet your bottom dollar I'd take it.
Yep, me too.
All right,
sign me up.
Let's go back to Isaiah. Isaiah, what's the question?
So this is the thing. I'm gonna agree with Tim. I think it would be the smart thing for us to trade back to the 12th, the 21st.
Thank you, Isaiah.
Pick and to the other picks in the second and third round. You know why? Because you got to think about it like this. We traded JPP for a reason. We released USC for a reason. It means
why do you think that? Stop thinking that all of those moves mean anything in reference to the draft. They don't. They don't. None of the moves, none of the guys that we sign, none of them have anything to do with the draft. None of them at all. Stop it. Stop.
It does, but you gotta think about it like this at the same time. What does Dave Gettleman like? He likes depth. We need depths. We need positions to fill.
You need good football players all over the roster. But you don't just trade away a chance to get a Hall of Famer to get 3 or 4 decent fucking players.
Right, so wait, how do you know of any of these? How do you know?
I don't, but I know I got a better shot.
Listen,
but I know I have a better shot because I've watched these guys on film. Are you blind? How many times are you salivating over the guy you're going to get at 64? Go watch Chubb play and tell me there's a defensive end at 64 that you'd like. Go watch Barkley play and tell me there's a running back that right now you like better in the third round pick. I don't know if it's right, but you got to draft on what you see. You're not drafting with your dick in your hands. You got to draft on what you see on film.
So what if Quentin Nelson's a bust? What if Quentin Nelson, Bradley Chubb, Saquon Barkley? What if they're a bust?
Then you know what? Then shit on me. Then shit on me and shit on everybody else. 99% of the people that got it wrong, and I'll tip my cap to you and Tim, the 0.2% that got it right.
The point. You know what? You're welcome.
Yeah, I
love James is all fired up. I love him.
Come on.
So
come on.
Oh, Isaiah's phone's breaking up. Hold on. All right, let's go. Ned's back on the line. Hold on.
All right, Ned.
Ned's got quotes.
First, I want to address you guys.
Hold on. Marco, do we have any music or anything like that? We have nothing like readings.
Ned needs his own entrance music.
Readings with the Ned.
No, we don't.
I want to.
Go ahead, Ned.
I'll address it.
We should get the Ned Ryerson clip from Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Can we pull that?
I'll address it with a quote from the interview. I'm coming from a place where football doesn't work out. I don't have to work at McDonald's. Other NFL players have the same opportunities. I just haven't had to fool teams into thinking I'm someone I'm not. My passion for this game lies in the game, not my need to play it. And that I don't like, first and foremost. So I will say that is my number one complaint. But
I have no problem with that quote whatsoever.
You don't like that he has a backup plan?
Yeah, I have no problem with that quote.
I do.
I have no problem with that quote.
That makes me want him more.
Yeah, I actually like that quote, to be honest with you, Ned. I'm sorry, bro. I don't have a problem with Rosen.
Don't see.
Can I ask you a question, Ned? Ned, how old are you?
I would not like to reveal that information on stream.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Well, I'm going to assume, Ned, you're younger than. Can we play higher or lower? Are you younger than 24?
Yes.
Are you younger than 21?
Yes.
That's all we need.
Are you older than 18?
Give me a month.
What?
Wow. He said give
me a month.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, Ned, let me ask you this.
I love you. He's one of our younger viewers.
Ned.
No, I love it. No, I have no problem with it. And he disagrees. That's awesome. I mean, who knows if we're right or wrong?
No.
It's just an opinion.
As long as you agree with me, you're fine.
What I don't like about
What's
that
your
quote
dream
is
job,
that
Ned?
what I think is inherently wrong in that quote is how he completely shrugs off the idea of I don't need football. I play it because I want to. I don't like that because I feel like
I got news for you, Ned. That's anyone who graduated college.
That's all of them, guys. That's all.
That's all of them, Ned. He just has the balls to say it at his age.
For financial situations, let's be honest here. A lot of them are going to it.
Well, yeah, of course. That's why. Why do you think he's doing it?
He comes for money.
Not for his financial situation. That's what he just said.
Hey, there's nothing he can do about that. He can't help what he was born into.
Oh, I know that. But you could also take the idea that I would like him to have the attitude of I need this money to make myself instead of the oh, I play it because I want to play it because I feel
Well,
like
I'd rather have a guy that wants
So
to play the game.
Ned, basically what you just said is you'd rather him. Ned, he's basically saying that fuck the money. I don't need the money. I play because I love it.
Yeah, and
that's what he's basically saying.
I don't trust that.
That's like Brett Favre, my friend. That's like Brett Favre, my friend. That's like Brett Favre, my friend. That's just a guy that wants to go out and sling it. Like, I don't care. I do it for free. Like, let's just go out and play. Like you call all the plays you want in the headset. Like, just go to the fucking stick and make a left.
You know what?
I don't trust that push comes to shove, that opinion won't change.
I think you're more worried about if he comes to an issue, if he has another concussion or two concussions.
Well, he's going to be like, and that's one thing I can definitely see.
That could be any of them. That could be any of them.
Yeah,
that could be, but that would probably give him like 4.
That's a serious concern nowadays. Because they got 25-year-olds
more likely.
And everybody talks about Rosen injuries. Do we know that you know who is Captain Clavicle number 2? Because we all know Tony Romo is Captain Clavicle.
Mayfield.
Josh Allen.
Mayfield and Allen too. Yeah, I know they have injuries, and I don't want them either. I personally would like Darnold, and then probably second would be honestly Lamar Jackson. But what I don't like about Rosen is again like it's that, and then I will say later on in the interview, he says his biggest regret about the Trump thing was saying the F word, and he literally drops the F bomb in the next sentence. It's like. He's saying he's going to be a role model for kids, and then it's like,
you're preaching. You got the wrong guy here.
I don't care. I don't care that he used a swear word. I care that he's trying to sell himself as something he's not, and he's like, I want someone to at least be real.
I think what we could take away from this is that you're not a Josh Rosen guy.
I can tell you, honestly, Ned, you just hate Josh Rosen because you hate Josh Rosen. Let's be honest.
Because if you're looking at him as straight a prospect, and you just look at him as a prospect, like the kid he's a can't miss prospect.
Ned, I'm going to ask you this question: if Giants draft Rosen, will you be a fan of Rosen?
I will give him a chance. If he blows it after 2 seasons, no.
We're only giving him 2 seasons?
You give him 2 seasons? Wow.
I'm sorry. No, okay. That's assuming
probably going to fit 2 seasons.
Yeah. Hey, we're not even going to see him play?
No, 2 seasons of him playing.
2 seasons of him playing. That's fair.
Okay.
All right.
Different story.
That's fair.
That's correct.
Fair.
That's fair.
All right, Ned. I got lit up phone lines. I'm going to go to the next one. Okay, here we go. Derek from Brooklyn. Derek,
Darnold.
what's up, Derek?
Let's be honest. We're all Team Darnold.
What's up, Derek?
So what's up? My fault. I was holding off and shit. I say we take Barkley. And if we're not going to take Barkley, we got to trade it. Yeah.
You're crazy.
I say we take Barkley.
You would definitely go back to sleep because you're still dreaming.
Nah, I really think we should take Barkley.
You can't take Barkley at 2. It's franchise suicide. It's just it's something you do in Madden. It's not something you do in real life.
So I guess then who are we going to trade to then?
The ones that will irritate James the most.
That depends on who's there. It depends on who's making the call, where you want to trade back to. I mean, I'm not opposed to drafting Barkley, but drafting him at 2 is stupid. If you can trade back to 5 to Denver, here's my thing. Here's what I would love to happen. Here's what I would love to happen. Okay, I would love for the Giants to trade back. I think I posted this and tweeted it weeks ago that the Giants would. Here's how it would go. It would go Darnold 1, Rosen 2 to Denver, Mayfield 3, Chubb 4. Giants get Barkley at 5. I still think that can happen. And that's what I got my fingers crossed. I would love for that scenario to take place. So I'm not saying I don't like Barkley, but taking Barkley at 2, stupid.
Yeah, I like that one too. I like the 5.
Now I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what happens. Maybe somebody trades to 6, and you end up at 6. Maybe you end up at 7. Who knows what can happen? There's crazy things that happen. And that's why we've said that if you can walk away from this draft knowing that you're walking away with one of the 4 players, if you're not sold on a quarterback, because if you're sold on the quarterback, take the quarterback at 2. If you're not sold on a quarterback, it would make sense to trade back. And ideally, if you can trade back, you'd want it to be in the top 7 so that you're walking away with your choice of one of Fitzpatrick, Nelson, Barkley, Chubb. You can argue about the order all day long, but those are the 4 prime candidates that don't play quarterback that you'd like to walk away from, unless you like to go to Tim's Day Camp Fantasyland with Isaiah.
All right, let's hit him.
I'm sorry that we would get more players in future first and second.
That's great. You get more
right.
players. You get more players than my players would run over.
No, I'm sorry that we'll have depth.
All right, Ryan from the Bronx. Ryan, what's going on?
You're going to need depth after my guy kills yours. Oh, go ahead.
Well, all we need is to blow out Saquon's knee, and then your draft sucks.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. Go ahead, buddy.
Ryan.
What's up?
I'm really liking Darnold at 2. He's an extension.
Darnold at 2.
I agree. The thing with Darnold, and they were talking about actually on NFL Network today. If Darnold comes to the Giants, he gets to grow with Odell, Ingram, Shepard, and God knows we're going to grab a running back in this draft as well. So that
any of the young
together.
Any of the young quarterbacks. But yes, but ideally, if you're giving me a guy that you said, okay, who's the perfect guy to sit behind Eli? If you had to pick from one of these guys, buddy, I am with you 100%, Ryan. It is Darnold. I would love if I am praying that what we're hearing. We saw it from Peter King eons ago. The first rumor about who the Browns were going to take at 1 was Josh Allen months and months and months and months and months ago. And now, just recently, you've heard rumors where that may be kicking up some steam again, and you wonder if maybe that's been their guy all along, and maybe they want the Giants to think they're going to take Darnold. Maybe they want the Giants to try to trade up with them. Maybe they get an additional pick. So you're not quite sure of the games that are being played right there. But, yes, I got my fingers crossed that Allen goes 1, and then Darnold is sitting there, and that Darnold is the guy, and Gettleman has conviction on him, and he drafts him. Because I think that him sitting behind Eli would probably be the best. I think that Darnold should sit probably for a year or 2, ideally.
I agree.
And I think that I think that it would be a great situation with Eli here to bring him in. You don't got to rush him. Let him grow. He'll be on a rookie contract. You can take care of Beckham for not an insane amount of money and really start to shape this roster moving forward for the next decade, as opposed to just trying to keep winning for a 1 to 2 year window. So, yes, I'm totally with you. Darnold. If he's there, you take him. You don't look back.
Yeah, and also I do like Allen as a prospect, but he's just too much of a raw talent, Like
I'm not an Allen guy. Does anybody here like Allen? Any Allen guys? Allen, Bueller?
I like the physical tools.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the size he's got. The arm is what I don't care about you can throw 70 yards. That's great.
He likes the cut of his jib. But
you know what? I like a bigger quarterback because they're not the ones that are going to get knocked out of games.
Yeah.
Hence, Ben Roethlisberger, keeps plays alive, and that's who we
like the ones that can stay in there so they can keep throwing interceptions.
Exactly. Hashtag love you, Eli.
Bueller.
I think if Darnold is not there too, I think we should trade out because to me he's the only quarterback that actually has some real upside to him.
I disagree there. I think that there's 4 of these quarterbacks that I would love to get my hand on for the future. The one that I would not like is Allen. Other than that, if they walked away out of this draft, and somebody said something earlier where if you traded back to 12 and walked away with Lamar Jackson, would you be happy? I'd be ecstatic. I just don't. Do you guys see the Giants doing that? I just don't see the Giants doing that.
No.
I just don't see the Giants
taking
doing
Lamar
that.
Jackson.
And I don't see I see drafting Lamar Jackson at 12 if they traded back with Buffalo and then drafting Lamar Jackson.
The problem with taking
I don't
Lamar
see that.
Jackson.
I'm going to say Lamar Jackson's gone by Miami.
I don't see Lamar Jackson getting picked by the Giants. Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson is definitely getting drafted somewhere. No, it's not going to be New York. But I think that any of those four quarterbacks, Jackson, Darnold, Rosen, Mayfield, I think they're going to be successful. I think they are. I think this is going to be one of the best quarterback classes. I like all four of those kids, and I could be wrong about Allen, and maybe he's a star.
Like we talked about before, me and James, me and you've talked about this a million times. Rosen's probably the only one out of them that could start day one.
That should play day one, yes.
Yeah, that should play. Everybody else should sit for at least a year or half a year, especially Allen and Lamar Jackson. You're doing those guys a disservice. You don't let them sit for a year.
Darnold and Lamar Jackson, I think, definitely have to sit. I think it would be in Allen's best interest to sit. I think Mayfield can play right away. I think he can compete
I'll give you Mayfield.
right away.
Mayfield can play.
I think you can plug. I think Rosen and Mayfield can be day one starters. I think with Mayfield's persona, once you get him into camp, with how electric he is, if he comes out in preseason and starts making a couple of plays and the fans love him, you're going to have a hard time not starting that kid. Especially, imagine Mayfield ends up with the Jets at 3.
They're going to
have a hard time not starting that kid day one.
Don't you think Baker's made for the Jets?
I think that's a perfect fit. I think it's an absolute perfect fit. I really do. Here's the thing, though. Now here's the thing, though, right? Like I think it would be Mayfield if you're telling me that Darnold and Rosen went 1 and 2, which if in my humble opinion, if you were telling me that quarterbacks are going to go in the first 2 of the draft, those would be the first 2 guys off the board. You can sit here and argue all day long about which one should go first, which one to go second. But to me, Rosen and Darnold are the 2 guys that should go 1 and 2. So let's assume, just a crazy scenario, something nobody's talked about. Darnold goes 1. Let's say the Giants sitting here all along are enamored with Rosen and they think he's the best guy. He's a can't miss, and they're going to take Rosen and let him grow behind Eli. And, do the Jets, take Allen?
I don't think so. Honestly, because they need somebody that needs, like we said, you need
do the Jets, if Allen goes 1 and Darnold goes 2, do the Jets go Rosen?
I think
do
they
like Rosen
Allen
more than they like?
I think they go with Rosen over Mayfield.
I think that they have to choose one of those 2 guys, but I think that ideally.
Well, they do have Teddy Bridgewater and McNown, so they could sit Allen for a year.
They have to draft a guy, and they need a face, and I think Baker would be. I think Baker or Josh Rosen would be perfect for the Jets. They need to walk away with one of them.
Don't like Rosen.
I don't believe anything I'm hearing
right now.
I don't believe it. We're a couple of weeks before the draft. I don't believe anything. I've stopped reading it. Like all the rumors and stuff. Like it's all bullshit. Everybody's putting out different things. Like Josh Rosen came to visit us. Like tell this reporter we don't like him. Tell this reporter we like him. Let them make stories up.
What's the point of the smoke screen? What's the point of the smoke screen for the number 1 pick? Why even fake it? You can pick whoever the hell you want to pick. Unless you're trying to if the Giants love Darnold, or the Jets love Allen, or Denver loves you don't know who's going to come call it. So why let anybody on until the very last minute? Who the hell you like? The Cleveland has so much draft capital. It makes no sense for them to keep grabbing more picks. The quarterback.
You just told me you wanted to trade back from 2 to get a bevy of picks, and now you're saying that Cleveland would be stupid to do it.
If I had the amount of picks Cleveland did, then we wouldn't need to.
I don't think Cleveland's entertaining trading 1 at all. But I think that you'd be foolish if you shortchanged yourself. It's such a valuable pick. Like, you don't know if somebody's going to go apeshit, and if it's the Giants, and if Dave Gettleman all of a sudden really wants a guy and he gets nervous and Darnold's really his guy and he has conviction about Darnold and he thinks that he's going to go one, maybe he makes a deal, and maybe the whole time you wanted Allen. So maybe you trade back a spot and you still get your guy. Maybe you trade back 2 spots because you hear whispers that the Giants want Darnold and the Jets want Rosen. So the Jets are willing to trade up to get Rosen, and the whole time you wanted Allen, and you could trade back with the Jets and get more pick and still get Allen. Look what Danny Ainge did with Marco Fultz.
Oh, stop. Cleveland can't mess around with that first pick. Now, the number 4 pick, I think, is totally up for sale. The number 1, Cleveland fan base could not handle them, getting rid of another quarterback where they can pick whatever one they like. It'd be the stupidest thing ever.
What would be the stupidest thing ever? What'd you say?
If Cleveland drafted, I understand where you're coming from. If you want to play it tricky and be like, hey,
No, just the stupidest thing ever is no. There's no news.
I thought breaking news was going down.
No,
but Cleveland moving on to the first pick and then still trying to get the quarterback they wanted would be dumb. You better have conviction. And you better
I totally agree with you. But if one of those teams is, but if it's the Giants. Like, if you're hearing whispers that the Giants want Darnold and you know that you want Allen, why would you do anything right now besides wait for your phone to ring and make the pick when you had to?
Oh, and that's exactly what Giants are doing.
Nothing changes for Cleveland. Like, all these rumors and all this shit, they're sitting there and they're like, listen, we know what guy we want. But if a certain team calls and we can drop back and assure ourselves that we're still getting our guy, you'd be stupid not to do the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you can trade back a spot, get an extra pick or 2, and then all of a sudden you end up with the same player you were going to draft at 1, you're a superstar. That's how you play the game.
I'm not going to lie. If Giants traded up to get number 1, and granted,
I'd be furious.
It would get Darnold. I'd be pissed. Be so fucking pissed.
Yeah, I'd be a little annoyed by that too. Because I like Rosen just as much as I like Darnold.
I'm with you, and I understand the injuries stuff that people are scared on Rosen. But Rosen is just if you ever watch his tape, you ever watch
you can't pass on talent. It's so good. It's so good.
He passes the ball so damn well.
He's so good. He's a window thrower.
His biggest knock on him is he's too smart. That's the biggest knock on him.
Yo, we need to, Marco. We need to get. Marco, there's a Francesa clip. Window thrower. We need to get he's a window thrower. They were doing it this morning. I was dying laughing. He's a window thrower. But he is a window thrower.
But they said the thing with Darnold is he can improvise, where Rosen isn't necessarily one that can improvise like that. So we'll see.
That's true. That's true. Rosen is more of a pocket guy. Darnold will scamper a little bit.
The nice thing is
everybody concerned about Darnold with the turnovers. I think that you can teach. I think a good coach in a good system, coaching a kid the right way can coach to that, to take care of the ball a little more. I think there's ways to do it.
Obviously, we've seen it happen. Kiki Barber. We've seen people who fumbled all the damn time.
And quarterback a little different. He's got to protect the ball in the pocket. So, that's maybe like not being just careless with the football. But again, guys, 20 years old. So if you're telling me that he's going to sit a year or 2 and then create some good habits and continue to work and get better, then you know what? I'll take him because the talent is off the charts, and you can teach those other things. You can teach better decision-making, to better reads so that he's not going to throw those picks, and you can teach better ball security.
The way I look at it too is he would not only get pushed by Eli, but the way Davis Webb works, he's going to have to be a workhorse.
Well, the writing is on the web for Davis Webb if they take a quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just
we've all wanted Spider-Man to come out, but if we take quarterback
again, it would have been nice to. That's a failure on the franchise, and I'll even throw a little bit on the feet of Gettleman because he was there during the season, so. That for him not to have said at some point we need to see this kid play because of the very situation that we're in right now, to me is a failure. That's the main thing they did that I have a problem with so far. The Gettleman regime. I don't know how
bad
this was allowed to happen.
How bad is it that both Spagnuolo and McAdoo do not have jobs right now?
I mean, I think that's to be expected considering how it ended. Yeah, I mean, this was not pretty. I think that I think that McAdoo will catch on probably in another year or so. Somebody will bring him on as a coordinator quietly. A lot of these guys, they all have. There's all trees, right? So, he was from the Green Bay tree. He had a good connection there. I wouldn't be surprised if he popped up in Green Bay again as an assistant, and then started, getting back in. McAdoo will not be gone forever, and neither will Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo will catch on somewhere. Someone will give him a job somewhere doing something. Again, he has a lot of connections. He's part of a whole other tree, but. Again, he will find a job somewhere. Maybe these guys, maybe right now is just these guys need, sometimes with coaches, they need to step away a little bit. Maybe a lot of people think after what happened here that it's better that they step away. But, both of them are young enough where we should probably see their faces again. And I wouldn't be surprised even with McAdoo if he showed up in college to try to, reconjure some of that magic he had as an offensive coordinator. So they'll be around. Yeah. They'll come back.
Yeah. Ben McAdoo was a hideous football coach.
You know what? It's not their fault. It's not their fault, guys.
Giving them more time on this podcast. It's disgusting.
You know what their problem was? They lost their faith in God, and that's why.
Oh my God! Here we go. What time is it? It took an hour and 20 minutes to get to Ray Lewis and his God talk. You can tell how far we've come as a show.
So, the people that don't know, Ray Lewis, took a little shot at Odell by saying that he's lost and he's lost his faith in God, and that's the reason he's doing what he's doing. And I just love that Ray Lewis is the one that's preaching this. He also said stitches don't get stitches. That's a shot at his backing up his friend for younger crowd.
Let me just say this. Let's put this out in the open, right? So it came out today. Renan tweeted it. The Giants were pissed at that video. Pissed. Whether the Giant fans like it or not, the Giants organization was pissed that video came out, and that's obviously why. Oh no, 100%.
Exactly.
100%. They should have been pissed off. With Captain Dance a lot, Odell Beckham Jr. They should have been furious when that video came out, and they were. So that came out today that the Giant organization was absolutely furious. Okay, so the comments, Ray Lewis commenting again, all of this stems from Odell putting himself in bad positions, and no matter what the Giant fans, how they want to sweep it under the rug, the video was from 3 years ago. It wasn't. The video happened. The Giants were pissed, and that's why the Giants entertained the trade offer, and that's why they're probably playing hardball a little bit with the contract. Okay. So Ray Lewis, while his comments are a little off the chart, you don't put yourself in those situations, Ray Lewis doesn't comment on anything. Now, Ray Lewis, here's the thing. Marco, you're Italian like me, right?
True.
When we grew up in the Bronx, Marco lives in Brooklyn, right? So I know that when I grew up, Marco, tell me if you've ever heard this phrase before. Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
Of course.
Okay. So there's a certain culture, America, that has grown up with you don't rat on your friends and you always keep your mouth shut. And while what Ray Lewis what he was involved in was absolutely disgusting, no one is giving any, this isn't O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's. I understand the comments that he said about Odell were off base. There's a lot of hate going towards Ray right now, but this isn't O.J. Simpson. Right? This is a guy that probably was in the bad place in the bad time with some friends that he had from Miami that when he was a young man he shouldn't have been with. Much like Odell, saw some shit go down and just didn't rat on his buddies. So take it as you will. Go ahead.
So you're fine. You're just fine with it. No,
I'm not saying I'm fine with it, but I'm giving a little context to how people call him a murderer, and he's not a murderer. Like it's just it's not OJ.
He's not a rat.
He's not a rat. He's not Sammy the Bull. Where I come from, a rat sometimes is worse than being a murderer. Right, Marco?
This is true. He's not a murderer, and he's just terrible with keeping his clothing. Where he puts stuff, he's bad at that.
Good point.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing on Odell Beckham. All right, the video was a huge mistake. And I think what happened with the trade specifically is that, Odell saw an opportunity to get to the Rams. The Rams are in L.A. They've made some bigger splashes in the offseason. It's conceivable that a player like Odell could look at a team like the Rams in L.A. and think that's a place where I would want to be. The Giants were upset by the video, as they should be. And so they knew that the Rams had interest and that Odell had interest in going to the Rams. And so they said, let's play this thing out. Let's see what we can get. The Rams chose to blow their load on Brandon Cooks. And so then they don't need Odell. And Odell's looking around and he's saying, well, geez, if I can't end up with the Rams, I certainly don't want to go play for the Chargers. Like, there's no incentive for me to go play there. So if I can't go play in L.A. for the team that I want to play for, what better place to be than in New York with the A franchise? Because I'm not going to want to go and play for the Jets. And so the Giants played that through to fruition. And now Odell knows that he needs to put in some quality face time to get paid. And he's going to do that. Listen, the Giants can express anger to Odell behind closed doors about the video and still get him to do what he needs to do to prove to them that he deserves that extension. And if they come through and they give him an extension of any kind, then you have to believe that behind closed doors he's done something that indicates to them that he's trustworthy. Because I do believe that they were.
But can we see? But here's the situation that I find intriguing right now in reference to Odell is I think this is the most intriguing part, and nobody's talking about it. Like I don't. If I'm everybody said, oh, he showed up to voluntary workouts. Like, pay him. Fuck you. What? Like, no.
Oh, I agree.
Like, you don't get to.
I agree.
You don't get to show up to a voluntary workout after what happened, and now all of a sudden everything's hunky dory. Here's $18 million. No. Like, so my question is, at what point does this become push or shove on the contract, and what contract is what? So, because if you're the Giants right now, are you comfortable, based off of what you have seen since the video, which blink, short time ago, are you comfortable handing out $18 million to this kid after seeing some good behavior for 6 weeks and one voluntary workout? I'm not.
Well, they haven't done so far.
What's the offer long term? If you're going to offer him a long term deal, what's the number against the cap that you're comfortable offering him?
And I agree with you 100%, James, on everything that you just said. But because, let's be honest, nobody's judgment improves just because they got more money. So
true.
Who Odell Beckham is at his core and who he decides to be in the future, like giving him $12 million, much less 20 or 26, is not going to fix that problem. And the Giants know that. But what I'm saying to you is that when I saw that video, when that came through on our private Facebook message, and I was out to dinner with my wife, and I thought, Jesus, what is this? That's not a player that I thought. That's not a player that I thought was committed to the Giants and would show up for voluntary workouts. So the fact that he's showing up lets me know that something somewhere got through to him. Now, I'm with you. He's got more to prove, and he's got a lot to do to prove to me that he deserves that money. But it's a step in the right direction.
Well, it fucking better be.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're talking about, you got to be talking about it is to the bottom of it has to be a complete rebuild of trust, and it's a bad time for Odell to be asking for a contract extension for $18 million. So my question is this, and I think at some point this is going to tip, and it's going to tip one way or the other. Either he's going to bitch the Giants organization and they're going to overpay him and nothing's going to change because they've enabled him for 4 years and now all of a sudden you're just going to pay him money. Or, well, three things can happen. They can come to a mutual agreement for a short contract, the 3-year deal that I proposed a couple of years ago that would work and get you to the next collective bargaining agreement. Or does he hold out?
He signed before the draft.
You think he's signing a long-term deal before? Then the Giants are the biggest sucker. Depending on what that number is, like what's the number? If he's signing before the draft, how much is he making per season?
Antonio Brown money.
How much is that?
Like 17 point something.
The Giants look like complete morons to everyone in the league. They might as well make him the owner, the general manager, the ball boy, everything. Because he completely bitched them.
I don't think he wants all those jobs.
He's completely bitched them, if that's the case. How can you hand that kid over $17.5 million right now if you're the owner of the Giants organization? The tape came out 6 weeks ago, guys.
Too long, 6 weeks.
You would have to put stipulations in the contract.
And so if I'm his, and here's your hang up, allow me to retort and play devil's advocate. I'm his agent. Who are you to put personal clauses in my in my client's contract? He's never been arrested.
Are you? Because I have a video.
He's never been in any trouble like that. So why are you putting personal clauses in behavior clauses? You don't like the person that he is. Release him. Don't sign him.
Yep. I mean, like, if you have no problem, if he's not going to do it, then you should have a problem signing it.
So it comes down to what Odell wants. Does Odell want to be a Giant, and does he want to sign for a deal that can, gives him financial security and maybe keeps him a Giant and at least puts more money in his pocket for the next couple of years? To me, I think a 3-year deal works absolutely perfect. I don't think it has to be for the amount of money that Kirk Cousins signed for, but I think the 3-year deal works fine because if you look at it, Odell Beckham Jr., I'll be quick. If we look at it, Odell Beckham Jr. is under control for 3 more seasons with the Giants. 3 more seasons. He has to play this year on $8.5 million. They can franchise him for the next 2 years. During the franchise, you're paid in the top 5 of the salaries for your position. So Odell's going to be looking at probably $15, $16 million if the Giants were to franchise him going into the next 2 years. Sign a deal now where it's for 14 or so right now for the next 3 years on a prove-it deal, $14 million guaranteed money, next 3 seasons, and we'll pay you your $125 million contract, $150 million contract when you're done with that deal. That to me I think is the perfect win-win for both teams, for both team and player. Go ahead, sorry.
I got a question for you guys. What is the deal with Sunday? We're getting yelled at over Sunday.
I'm a go. I'm ready to go. I'm up early on Sundays. I like the Sunday show.
Yeah,
people
are
phoning for it. People like it. People like the Sunday show.
Honestly, I like the Sunday show better than I like the Wednesday night show. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today?
I'm probably out for Sunday just because I'll be on Long Island on Sunday.
Diva.
What are you going to be in Long Island for? That is Diva. What are you going to be in Long Island for?
So I have a funeral that I have to attend.
Oh, Jesus. You should have just told me my business. Why do you have to say that? Jesus, God almighty.
And I grew up on Long Island. So
you couldn't just say, I'm going home? You son of a bitch.
I haven't been, I haven't been back.
He had to throw it in there. He's going home to Long Island.
I know. You couldn't just be like, I'm going home. I'm going to see my family. I'm going to go home. I haven't been back in a while. So the family. See, there you go. See, that's a good backstory, Justin. You don't got to, I'm going to the scene of the crime and blah, 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 and depress everybody.
I'm taking I haven't been back in a decade. And I want a good bagel and a nice slice. And so Sunday morning, that's what we'll be doing.
That is, you know what I do, Justin? Whenever I go down to the Bronx, I always stop at Crosby Pizza, and I always order a plain pie and a Sicilian pie, and I drive it back with me 3 hours. And for the next 2 days, I eat nothing but pizza.
Maybe I can get some
so good.
Cookies.
It's so good when it hits your lips. I also go to Pelham Bakery, which is right down the street, and I bring back a shit ton of pastries and crumb buns and stuff that they would look at it like it's from Mars if I took it out where we are.
What about the streufel? Only during Easter?
They don't have streufel. They have no clue what streufel. Are you kidding me? I gotta have my mom send it in, perishable, because my wife can't make streufel. You think my wife's making streufel? No, she ain't making streufel. So I got it. And if she does, she's not making it like my grandmother and my mother make it. So I got to have my mother ship it in perishable because I need those during the holidays. And then I send my laundry out for my mom to do it too. I still send my laundry out. My mom should step back.
Perishable?
Yeah.
Not perishable. Those aren't perishable. No.
All right. So Sunday looks like
leave the gun and I'll take the cannolis.
Exactly, Tim. We'll go Sunday
James,
morning. Do we know what time?
James, I live right next to Crosby Pizza.
Who?
Mr. Hangglider Man.
Awesome, bro.
That's Ryan the intern.
There you go. How about that, Ryan? I used to go there back in growing up, I used to catch the bus from Mount St. Michael, right there by, it used to be, the George's Diner used to be there. I don't know what the hell's there now. But George's
That's
Diner
when they
was
used
at
to play
the end.
stickball and.
Yeah, but no, you couldn't play stickball there. You got ran over. It was right under the L. You can't do that. Under the L where the train goes, you would have got ran over. We played stickball down the block, a couple of blocks on Mayflower Avenue. I lived in across from Hazel Towers, Mayflower Terrace. So I'm giving a little hand glider man, Ryan, where we are, right? So he probably knows the area I'm talking about right there. So we used to catch the bus from Mount St. Michael right there, and then we used to actually, on the days that the Yankees played, we used to let that bus go and catch the other bus or jump on the L and go see the Yankees play, cut school. How about that? And the old Yankee Stadium had, across the street from it, was an old broken-down park. Marco, you might remember if you've gone to some of those old games. But the old broken-down park, we used to play basketball in there and then go over to Yankee Stadium when there were $6 bleaching tickets. How about that?
Can we just talk about the Yankees for a little bit? Did
you
see that Gary Sanchez finally decided to start hitting today?
I did. I saw the Yanks. It's 11 games in. Everybody needs to relax.
Yeah. He was 2 for 34.
Yeah. It's okay.
I just want to put it out there that James is for you. Sixers locked up that number 3 spot.
You're worried about it.
Right.
Cleveland's going to go to the finals, and then everybody will see everybody again next year.
Everyone says they're hungry in the chat. All right, everyone, grab something to eat.
Oh yeah, good. Crosby. I used to eat the Sicilian slices and the die for. Ryan, go get a slice now, guys. Hook up Crosby. Maybe we can get Crosby to sponsor the show now that we're talking about him. And then Ryan, Pelham Bakery, crumb buns. Hit them up tomorrow morning. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Get yourself a crumb bun. Hit us up on the chat with a nice picture of a coffee and a crumb bun, or a little crumb bun or a slice, so everybody knows what we're talking about here. Give us a little picture. Yeah, it says a little Crosby picture, slice of the Sicilian, maybe a calzone. Was there a calzone? I don't know if there's a calzone in the window. So, hook it up, Ryan. Let us know what's going on down in the Boogie Down.
All right. All right, everyone. Peace out tonight.
Peace out. Bleedbigblue. Always.
Peace.